Hi, this is Roby Thomas, Bayarea Downsizer. Today, I wanted to bring up an important topic that I get asked when I go for listing appointments. The homeowners want to fix certain things in their house, and sometimes it's not worth it. So, I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention who's thinking of selling their home in this Bay Area where the landscape is different and the soil is different and the kind of construction is also different. So let's get into it right away. Reach me anytime at 510-374-2264. So let's get into it. So, what not to fix when selling a house in the Bay Area? That is the topic today. The number one thing that I have seen most homeowners do is they start remodeling their kitchen and the bathrooms, and then at that point they reach out to me. They saw my marketing somewhere or the YouTube video, or they call me and then they ask me like, is it worth spending money on? Well, it is not worth spending money on a kitchen because the new homeowner who is going to buy the house is going to change that liking to whatever they want to put in, because it's a very specific thing that people like when they buy the house. So I would recommend not to put any money into the kitchen. But the good thing that you can do is you could do minor aesthetic upgrades like refurbishing the cabinets if they're old, or reglazing the tubs. Reglazing tubs probably between $300 to $800, and the walls they reglaze the entire bathroom area, where it looks very nice, very clean, very pristine, and desirable without spending too much money. Versus remodeling a kitchen or a bathroom would be in the tens of thousands of dollars. The next one is do not replace the roof, because the roof could have leaks, could have a small issue like the gutters not locked in properly, or the spouts not running properly. But fixing that would cost you a lot because it's not a small fix. And when you do a small fix, then the certification of the roof, depending on the roofer and the extent of the damage, also is different. And the roofer might not give you a warranty for that extended period of time. And the buyer can see through that in their inspection report. So what they would like is a new roof, and that is probably going to be between 18, 20, 30,000, depending on the square footage of the house and what kind of roof you're going to put in. So it's not recommended. um, so instead you opt to have it cleaned and washed, pressure washed if possible, because if it's an older roof you can even see moss growing on it. So I would pressure wash that with somebody who knows how to do it, who's professional but not too expensive. The number three is replacing the front door, especially if it is north or easterly facing. The sun hits the main door, and some homes where I've gone and seen, the door warps and doesn't close properly, or the entire painting and the varnish is completely gone. So what happens is when you're taking pictures or when you're closing the door, it's not going to close properly. And also when you're taking pictures, it looks really bad. So most people ask me when they're going to sell the house at the appointment, say, should we replace the door? Well, here's the problem. Replacing that front door, if it is a single door, depending on the thickness of the kind of brand that you're putting it, definitely runs into a few $1,000s. And if it's like a bigger home with a double door and which looks very beautiful, those with intricate designs and all that, those run in like in between 5 to 8, $10,000. So are you going to get that money back when you're going to sell the house? No, because probably the new buyers will definitely change it after they buy it to their liking. So not advisable. Then is if there's an outdated window or window coverings, especially if the net is torn. What I recommend is, in fact, what I do is and if there's one or two screens which are damaged, it's good to rescreen. But otherwise, what I do is I remove the screen completely for the entire house, keep it in the side, because if you were going to go get it done, you would rather put in new window screens at some point. So the new buyers, for a small amount of money, can get it done. But if the screen which is torn is removed, it's still going to look very nice. The next thing I get is landscaping necessary? Well, landscaping, like a full blown landscaping, is going to run into a couple of tens of thousands of dollars, especially if it's a big yard. Instead, just have it manicured, have all the bushes cut and cleaned, and the sprinkler system, if you have one, just serviced and with a certificate of service shown, usually helps, because once the new buyers buy it, they can go and replace it at some point, because some people like to remove the entire grass in the back and put in zero maintenance, like cobblestones or concrete or stamped concrete. The major thing that you have to think about when you're looking at selling your house, and people try to spend money on big paint jobs, no, not recommended at all. But touch-ups, yes, for sure, or a lighter coat of paint, absolutely do. If it's very bright colors, yes, make it as neutral colored as possible. So when people come inside, when they see a light and bright house, people who are really interested in buying a home, they want to get into a house which looks very bright, because most people don't like a dark lighting. That's the reason why I highly recommend light paints inside the house, clean windows, pressure washing the entire house. I recently did one, cost me $500 $600. They do a good, fantastic job, and it looks beautiful for the pictures. So coming back to the expenses side of it, keep the expenses as minimal as possible. One of the good things that adds value is the curb appeal. So if you can have the entire front of the house pressure washed, and cleaned, and look very as clean and neat as possible, that really helps, because as the buyers or potential buyers come into the house, they feel good about it. So keep it as low cost as possible, and do not spend too much money on redoing or remodeling the entire house, because you are most probably not going to get the money back. And I've seen it over and over again. So as long as you disclose that these are the things that you've done, and the inspection show that the amount of work that needs to be in, like section 1 repair or section 2 repair, it might even require tenting of the house because of the lay of the land, and we have subterranean termites in the Bay Area. So spending money on Section 1 could, I have seen Section 1 reports for $30,000 $40,000. So between the remodeling, the Section 1 fixing the roof, you're already looking at an outlay of $100,000 before you even put the house on the market. Totally unnecessary. Instead, if you price the house right and do a few things that make it look with an open space, with a lot of light and manicured front, this will attract potential buyers, especially if it is priced right. Now, about the pricing strategy, give me a call. There's another video below, or in one of the following links, and then you can look at that too. If you need me as a free consultation for your house, if you're thinking of selling in a declining market or in any market, give me a call at 510-374-2264. Roby Thomas, Bay Area Downsizer. Bye.